No! No!
My problem is the way that black people pronounce this word. Simple word, one syllable, 3 letters.
舐めたらいかんぜよ。
Alright, we're gonna make a song. I call it Pots and Pans. Mama, keep the pots and pans in the kitchen, yeah. Mama, keep the pots and pans in the kitchen. I told you, Mama, I'ma be the man in the shit. Go.
Hey, look at me.
Yeah. Twerk. Hey. Hey.
That was local, but not in an entertaining way.
Are we starting? Alright, come on.
Hey, look at me.
Excuse me. Have you ever heard of supermarket bowling? Okay, goodbye, have a good day. Hey guys! Hey you guys from earlier!
You shut up!
Do me a favor, catch this! Throwing things! Hey, catch!
You all turn your back, let me beat his ass. Can't do that.
You ever heard of bowling? Of course. I don't know how to do the leg thing. I want to show you something.
Yeah.
I think it's quite cool. I came up with this like pick on me again. So basically, one of you does like a cylinder of some sort, and then just all in the foot. You want to just.
I didn't sign up for that.
Yo, you girls want to play bowling? Okay. Credit cards and the scammers. Legacy.
You're gonna have to get out of the shop. You're gonna look.
For what? A no pay, yeah. Usually they say no pay.
Yeah, if you could, no, if you're gonna look, you're gonna have to get out of the shop.
Alright, I'll leave.
No, seriously, I'm not joking. You're gonna have to get out of the shop. Look, you're gonna have to leave, man.
I am gonna act like you can have a hug though.
No.
Just. Alright, safe then. I got bras in the lamp. Mixing the lead in the fat.
She gets a I'ma stop.
So today we're gonna talk about like fat girl phobias. Those little things that you do like in your daily life where you're worried about what other people might think about you because you're so freaked out that other people are gonna feel like your fatness is a problem or like taking up space. Oh my God, that dude's staring at me. Why is he staring at me? Ooh, that cheeseburger look real good. I'm not gonna eat a cheeseburger in front of all of these. Why is he still staring at me? Do I have something on my face? Is my boob out? Just the left one? What is happening? I'll take the, grapefruit. Oh my God, this is so good. It's so fresh. My chair sounds like it's farting. Do you guys hear that?
Cancer.
Put a little purple in my hair.
See, this is what we have to do as a people. We have to wake up.
What do you
We
want?
gotta stop listening to this rhetoric that's in the media.
Michelle, what do you people want?
What do I want?
Michelle.
When you say you people, what do you mean?
The complaining black people blaming others for the failure of their parents and their lives.
What complaint
blaming
have we made?
others for whatever it is you complain about. What is it exactly do you want from white people? I'm trying to find out what you want.
What's your nationality?
American.
Are you white?
I'm Black American.
Oh, okay.
What do you want?
Caucasian.
Oh, you do? And why do you think that? Why do you think that?
Because you seem to separate yourself from us, should I say?
In
Put
what
us on
way?
the other side
In what
of the
way?
fence. In the ways that you specified thus far.
Meaning what? Tell me. Give me an example and tell me what you mean.
How you mean? What do you people want from white people? Meaning that I'm not with you.
Oh, okay. I got
just y'all by yourself, right?
Let me explain why I do that. I don't identify with angry, evil black people. I identify with other blacks and others who are on the side of good. And so that's why I say you people, because I have to divide myself or separate myself from evil and go along with good. So that's why I do that.
What is it that makes us evil?
I'm sorry, your anger, you're blaming others for your problems, your lack of love and respect for yourself and others.
Okay, well, that's another reason why I wanted to come on the show, because that has been a misrepresentation, right? We're not angry, we're not pointing the finger.
But you're blaming white people for your downfall.
No, we're not blaming white people for our downfall. Basically, we're just saying when the so-called Emancipation Proclamation was passed, a certain system was also set in place to make sure black people didn't make it that far.
What do you want at this point?
I want race to be taken off applications. What does that have to do with anything? I want to stop seeing my fellow young people being gunned down in the streets for carrying a can of tea and a bottle of Skittles, walking home. I want police to stop using illegal chokeholds to take people down and then completely getting off of it. I want our politicians and our elected officials to see the people that march in these streets that across this nation that's saying, wait, no, this is wrong. I want people to do their jobs. I want to walk down the street and know that I'm safe.
You've been brainwashed.
You're fucking racist. You're fucking bitches. You're all kinds of shit. I hate you. I hate you fucking kids. I hate your moms, your dads. I have no respect for white people. I hate them.
We want to see, first of all, this fact is, yes, in LA, right? Yes, in Chicago, that if you're black, you basically will be persecuted.
Who are you referring to?
I'm referring to anyone, everyone who looks down upon black people, right? Who feels that if you have darker skin, that you have a lower status.
Have you been discriminated against?
Yes.
By whom?
By white people.
What did they do to you? Tell me what happened to you.
They told me that I needed to wear my hair a certain way in order to be groomed.
Who told you that?
All right, a supervisor.
At your job?
Yeah, at a previous job.
At a what?
A previous job. I don't work there anymore.
So you were working at this company, and you went in, you applied for the job, and you, at the time that you were applying for the job, you told them, if you pay me X amount of dollars, I would come every day, and I will follow your rules, and you took the job, right? Is that right?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
They can't hear you.
Yes.
They can't hear you, Michelle. Come on. So when you agreed to do that job and follow their standards, their rules, you didn't mean it?
Yes, I did, but culture is, everybody has different culture.
So you meant to follow their rules. Did you know about the hair deal before taking the job?
No, they said, right,
They said
groomed means you got up and you did your hair, you did your face, you're aware of your whole appearance, right?
Right. And so you went in there with what, an afro or something?
Something similar.
What you did? What you go in there with?
With a ponytail with the afro.
And they said,
nice.
no, you can't wear that hairstyle.
They said it's just not it doesn't look professional, and they just made a recommendation, but they didn't say, oh, our rules prohibit you, but they said, oh, look, I just want to make a nice recommendation.
Right. And did they have a right to make that recommendation?
No, they didn't have a right.
Did they own the company?
No, they did not own the company.
Who owned the company?
The owner wasn't, nobody owned the company.
Somebody have to own the company.
Nobody, it wasn't a company.
These people can't communicate. These are the wrong folks up here.
Oh, wow.
I'm not getting the real answers or anything. You guys are not even communicating. I thought this was going to be like
offend my intelligence while I'm sitting right in front of you. You asked me for clear answers. I gave you clear answers.
I thought this was
choose to have
but
a
you guys are not even
discussion.
I'm trying to get some understanding as to what is wrong and what we can do about the problem, but you guys won't really.
Okay, I can tell you, you're focusing on problem, but you're not focusing on the solution.
No, we need to find out what is the problem. Have you been discriminated against? Who discriminated against you, and why?
I've been discriminated against. I've been told
it was the policy that allowed the recommendation to even come in. So it's policies that are created that people have to go by that perpetrate discrimination.
Was this with a private business that you were working for?
No, it was not
was it a government business?
Yes, it was.
And so the government rules are you can wear your hair any kind of way you want to?
As long as it's decent.
And so did your supervisor approach you about your hair once you got this job?
Be more specific in your
You said
question.
you got this job, and did you quit the job or you got fired?
I quit.
You quit. And you quit because of they recommend a different hairstyle.
No, that's not the reason why I quit.
Why did you quit?
Because I felt that I wanted more fulfilling work.
So where's the racism in that then? You quit because you were not fulfilled. You said that was an example of you being discriminated against.
Right, but
now
that's just something that black people on a daily basis we have to work through.
So
I had to work through that, right?
So
I had to conform to that.
So was it racism or you wanted to be fulfilled?
It was an instance on the job. It wasn't the final conclusion on the job.
So you quit because you wanted to be fulfilled, not because of discrimination about your hair.
Right.
But you just said that was
a problem.
But it had nothing to do with racism. You was not fulfilled. Why did you try to make that into racism?
But it's discrimination that we face, that all black people face on a daily basis,
but
that we have to work through because it's like, okay, hey, am I going to tell them, fuck you, I'm going to wear my hair the way I want to, or am I going to work this out to
Michelle,
the next week and make sure that I can get a check?
because you have not given me an example of you being discriminated against. I asked for an example.
Not valid enough for
Both of you are running around crying racism.
I'm not
and
crying racism.
You haven't given me an example.
Hold on.
I didn't say racism, I said discrimination.
You haven't given me an example of you being discriminated against.
Okay.
Have you been discriminated against?
Yes, I have been discriminated
and
against.
who discriminated against you?
An employer discriminated against me. They asked me to cut my hair.
Was it a white man or a white person?
This was a Caucasian female.
Okay, and so, private job?
No, this is a public sector job.
Okay, so you filled out the application.
I filled out the application.
And you said on the app that I will follow the rules if you pay me X amount of dollars.
Yes.
And did you have the afro at the time?
Yes, I had my afro at the time.
And they still hired you?
And they hired me.
And so you went in and they said what to you? This is a white female boss, right?
Yes.
Okay. And this is a government job.
Great job.
And so you go into the office, she called you in.
Yes.
And she says what to you about your hair?
She told me that I had to cut my hair. My hair had gotten too long and looked unmanaged.
Oh, okay. And what's wrong with that?
A lot is wrong with that.
Why? Why don't you want to look? I wouldn't hire you with that hair looking like that.
Why?
It's not. It doesn't look.
That's my natural hair texture.
It doesn't look professional.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this.
It doesn't look professional.
No, they're gonna leave now. We're leaving.
Hold on.
Yeah,
No,
you ready?
You're done, Michelle. Now you can stay, baby, and
Yeah.
I really don't know you.
Why is she? Why is she brought you
You're
around?
traumatizing them.
Goodbye.
Yeah, spectacle. Google me. My name's Jasmine Abdullah.
I just sat here.
Are you her boss or something?
No, it's about black love.
Why are you
it's
pushing
about
her
love.
around?
And you see how they're doing this because you're hurting them.
Why are you pushing
You're hurting
them?
them, and you know they don't know what to say.
You're boxing everything in. This is not an open discussion at all.
I love you. I'm not angry with you. I love you, and I feel sorry for you. I feel really bad for you. I love you. You got a lot of self-hate.
Stop pushing her around.
And it radiates. You got a lot of self-hate.
Don't let that lady push you around.
No lady
it's not
pushing me around because I feel more
it's about love,
you, right?
Yeah.
He stayed
I feel attacked by you, but I fight. I stand in my
Okay.
We agreed to have an open conversation, not to be boxed into particular.
Is this a strong woman running right now?
Well, actually, I think that's probably the best thing for her.
I know I should, but
we're trying to do a TV show. Don't engage. Continue the show.
Is that a strong woman leaving?
Honestly, I think that was the best decision for her to make. I think it was the best decision for her to make because she is younger than I.
I'm sorry?
She is younger than I.
Anyway, I appreciate you coming, Andre. Andre Shirley.
Hopefully this inspired some black youth to actually get up and let their voices be heard.
Shut the fuck up!
Alexa, what is the CIA?
The United States Central Intelligence Agency, CIA.
Alexa, are you connected to the CIA? Alexa, are you connected to the CIA?
Alexandria, I need to jump in at this moment because many are watching what unfolded today in Toronto and looking at the Black Lives Matter movement in critical terms. They're saying that you took time and space away from a group that has its own fair share of marginalization, of discrimination, of violence. Again, I'm referring to what took place in Orlando, but also what happens really right around the world. In many places where being gay is illegal, this again was a moment to address that issue. So I wonder, have you done yourself and your group a disservice by taking that space away from them?
We're not taking any space away from any folks.
I'ma stop.
Before protesters, set up camp outside Toronto Police headquarters, it said, "Please, Allah, give me the strength not to cuss/kill these men and white folk out here today. Please, please, please." It's unclear who or what event she is referring to. The tweet was deleted today after it was discovered by a reporter, and Kogali has yet to comment about the post.
Sandy Hudson, spokesperson for Black Lives Matter, to explain all of this. Thank you so much for coming in. Let's talk about this tweet, first of all, and the context behind it, and if you have anything to say about it.
Why are you doing this story? That's what I have to ask you. Why you're doing this story. There have been, for the last 2 weeks, people sleeping outside in very difficult circumstances to talk about death in our community. And yesterday, a black man was killed, died, after being shot at the hands of police in Montreal. There hasn't been a single story about that from CP24. The Premier has committed to doing something, reviewing the SIU, and instead of focusing on that today, focus on this from a man who has made homophobic tweets in the past, a man who has made Islamophobic tweets in the past, anti-women tweets in the past, has effectively managed to manipulate folks to switch the story. I won't comment on it.
So you don't want to comment on this tweet by Yusra Kogali?
It would be besmirching the memory of Andrew Loku, of Jermaine Carby, and the people who have died in our community. You have to understand, for us, these are people who have been traumatized by death.
I understand
in their community. And in that trauma have been affected so deeply that they've decided to stay outside for 2 weeks and re-experience that trauma over and over and over again.
And so in order to bring attention to that...
And then for the media to focus on manipulation by this man rather than focusing on what is in the public interest, which is the fact that police officers, people who are supposed to keep us safe, have been targeting our community, and that black folks are the target of anti-black racism and police brutality at the hands of the police more than anyone else.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
But
so we're giving you this opportunity here, Sandy.
For people to have switched this is about death in our community.
So we're not here to talk about Jerry Ager and his coverage. We're here to talk about Black Lives Matter Toronto and this member, this co-founder of the organization. This tweet, I'm just going to read the tweet. There's nothing more of me saying anything to it. Can you put it into context then?
There are people who have died in our community. Death in our community.
This is a person that's part of your organization, though, and this tweet was sent out publicly.
In our community, there's been not a single story.
So you don't want to address the context of this tweet
whatsoever? Not a single story on Jean-Pierre Bonny.
We have been covering your movements, and we have been giving you the platform to speak about Black Lives Matter. So let's talk about the organization and what you stand for.
You do cover national news.
And this is a co-founder of the organization. We just want to ask, can you explain the context of the tweet or your reaction to that?
I just want you to explain to me why you're doing this story and why you think it's in the public interest.
I'm merely asking questions.
Given that there has been so much death and violence in our community at the hands of police, and the people who need to be held accountable for that, Kathleen Wynne, Mayor Tory, have not gotten nearly as much attention as what has happened today because of a tweet that was meant to delegitimize us by a man who
But he didn't write the tweet. Yusra Kogali wrote the tweet.
Who consistently does this type of stuff. He mined it.
But Jerry didn't write this tweet. Yusra Kogali wrote the tweet. And so why won't you address that?
It's not even contemporary.
Your organization has said that there is systemic racism. Your organization
absolutely systemic racism. So if we want to talk about Mike McCormack's
let's talk about this.
That would be an interest that's in the public
interest. If you come in here to have a conversation, then let's have that conversation.
For sure.
Your organization has talked about systemic racism, and yet this tweet by a co-founder of your organization, do you not think that at some point some people might translate that as just adding to the problem?
Now let me talk about what systemic racism is. Systemic racism is when you have a policy or the way that an institution is set up unfairly discriminates or oppresses a certain group. So for example, when we talk about education, the way that the education system is set up, often we don't see black students achieving in the same way. And it's not because of them, it's because of the way the policies are created to keep black students out.
So if your organization is raising, so if your organization is standing up to that and trying to raise awareness against that,
systemic racism with respect to this issue is about the policies that are in place that monitor or set up the SIU, the policies that are in place that set up the OPIRD, and the policies in place that manage the Toronto Police Service. So that would be very interesting for us to talk about, systemic racism.
And so if your organization wants to fight against that kind of a system and wants to stand up for this and raise awareness about it, then let's talk about the co-founder who wrote this tweet and possibly the tone and how it can be interpreted by others.
Do you understand that you're talking about a tweet and juxtaposing it against the death of a black man?
No, I'm
in our
not.
community.
I'm just asking.
That's exactly what's happening here.
But I'm not
Because
asking. I just wanted to know what the context of the tweet was or your reaction to it.
This is tabloid. It's not public interest.
How is this? This was a tweet specifically written by Yusra Kogali. It was not written by anybody else.
This is not in the public interest. What is in the public interest is
most of the time, you all pronounce it like this. Okay, this is the word, A-S-K. Listen clearly and carefully. It is pronounced ask. Ask. The S comes before the K. In the other word, ax, the K sound comes before the S. When you are inquiring of someone, you are asking them something. When you're chopping down a tree, you are axing it, okay? An axe is a tool that is used to chop wood. It is not the word that you use when you are inquiring. I want to make that clear because it makes my head want to explode off of my neck when I hear educated Black people. I'm talking about doctors and lawyers and people with multiple degrees saying, I would like to ask you a question. And in the best of professional voices, they'll be like, well, let me ask you this. No, stop it. Stop it. Okay? Ask. Let's do this again. Let's go over. There we go. Ask. And this one is ask.
Put a little purple on my hair.
I think they are sick and they need help.